The studio lights were blazing, the cameras rolling, and millions of viewers watching, yet nothing could have prepared the nation for what unfolded next. In a moment that would echo across social media, replayed frame by stunned audiences, Senator John Kennedy's words landed with such precision, such truth, that even seasoned host Dana Corbin whispered into her mic, "'Tis a broken bar, this is history." But the real shock? Nancy Pelosi's fascia, one of Washington's most controlled, practiced expressions, fractured in an instant, revealing a mix of disbelief, frustration, and a rare flicker of vulnerability. And it all began with the single, deceptively simple question. The build-up, a nation holding its breath. The debate had been scheduled for weeks, a high-stakes, nationally televised conversation on government accountability and public trust. Tensions were already high. The country was exhausted, tired of political games, tired of speeches without solutions, tired of watching leaders clash while Americans struggled. When Senator John Kennedy walked into the studio, he carried with him his signature charm, a slow-spoken, razor-sharp, with the unmistakable energy of a man who'd spent the night preparing every line with the precision of a surgeon. Nancy Pelosi entered moments later, calm, composed, carrying decades of political experience on her shoulders. She was ready to defend her party, her decisions, and her legacy. But neither expected the emotional storm about to take place. The spark, a question that cut to the core. "Leader Pelosi," the moderator began, "millions of Americans feel unheard, unseen. They believe Washington has grown distant. What would you say to them right now?" Pelosi began with familiar talking points, plans, commitments, programs. The words were polished, steady, rehearsed. But Kennedy leaned forward, folded his hands, and stared directly at her. When he spoke, the studio fell silent. With all due respect, Kennedy said softly, "What folks are tired of isn't the promises, it's the distance. We're elected to be servants, not celebrities." Pelosi's eyebrows lifted slightly, but enough for the cameras to catch. Kennedy continued, each word sharper than the last. "You talk about listening. But when was the last time you sat with a grocery worker who works 3 jobs? Or a veteran who sleeps in his truck? Or a single mother who skips dinner so her kids don't have to?" Pelosi inhaled slowly, but the narrative had shifted. Kennedy wasn't debating her. He was speaking to America. When the room fell silent, the moderator tried to pivot, but Kennedy wasn't finished. "I don't question your experience, ma'am," he said. "I question the distance between your experience and the people living paycheck to paycheck, because they don't have the luxury of political theater." Pelosi attempted a rebuttal, something about funding, committees, progress. About Kennedy's next line stopped her cold. "You say you fight for the people," he said, leaning closer. "But fighting for them starts with understanding them. And understanding them starts with standing with them and not above them." It was at that moment, captured by a camera that zoomed in at just the right second, that her expression faltered. The composure slipped. The frustration rose. The face said everything she didn't say out loud. Social media exploded within minutes. The turning point. A story of 2 worlds. Pelosi regrouped. Her voice steadied. She spoke of accomplishments, legislation, years of service. But Kennedy countered with something far more powerful than political points. He told a story. He spoke about a young woman from Louisiana, a waitress who worked nights just to help her father afford insulin. He spoke about a retired teacher whose pension barely covered heating costs in winter. He spoke about a teenage boy who wanted to go to college but believed dreams were for other people. "These Americans don't care about party lines," he said. "They care about being heard. They care about leaders who remember that every policy, every bill, every decision affects someone's real life." Pelosi listened, and for a moment, a rare, human moment, her shoulders softened. This wasn't about destruction. It was about revelation. The resolution. A moment of truth. As the debate neared its end, the moderator asked each for a closing remark. Pelosi spoke first. Her tone was quieter than before, more introspective. "I hear the criticism," she admitted, "and I accept that leadership requires constant reflection." Then Kennedy spoke. "I don't want to defeat you," he said. "I want us all to stop defeating the people who depend on us. They deserve better from both of us." A hush fell again. Even Pelosi nodded. For all the tension, all the verbal blows, The moment ended not with insults but with clarity. Two leaders, standing on opposite ends of ideology, united up if only for a moment by the weight of responsibility. The aftermath, what America saw. The clip went viral, not because Kennedy destroyed Pelosi, though that headline spread like wildfire, not because Pelosi's rare emotional reaction caught viewers off guard, but because the moment reminded people that politics isn't supposed to be about power, it's supposed to be about people. Across social media, Americans from every background commented the same thing: finally a real conversation. Parents, workers, students, retirees, people who'd felt invisible for years have felt seen again. The inspiring message left behind. By the end of the night, the nation understood something important. Strength isn't just about speaking loudly. Sometimes, it's about speaking truth. Sometimes, it's about challenging others with respect, not hatred. Sometimes, it's about remembering the people who will never sit in those studios but who live with every decision made inside them. And that is why, long after the debate ended, long after the cameras went dark, one moment kept replaying: Kennedy's words, a gentle but sharp reminding every leader watching: we're elected to serve. Never forget who you serve.